Hey, this is Notser, and this is a 11.2 preview, French cruisers, and also some new animation work that Wargaming is putting into the game. They are adding more impressive smoke effect when the gun fires, and also the plume, the deforming of the water. And they're also adding this feature to the smaller gun caliber as well, which, admittedly, I think that the smaller gun caliber hasn't had this effect quite as pronounced as it's going to be. And you can imagine that a fast firing ship that has 127 or 130 or 139, it might leave an impressive amount of smoke and deformation on the water. And I think that's cool for the added realism. And I can imagine some larger ship battle with a bunch of animation going around. And I think the work they're putting in is good. I want to see the shadow work, though. That's definitely something that I would prefer to see sooner rather than later. Now, here is an example of one of those storm cyclones that move around the map. They've added more impressive animation with lightning and also the rain. And hopefully both of these are locked very tight to the radius of the effect so that it reads from distance as a very accurate estimation of where it is. And here is the Smokestorm as well. Not quite as thundery, but it still has an impressive amount of billowness with the smoke. And hopefully, as I said before, this effect is very defined so you can see it very clearly where you're sailing. And it would be nice to know where enemy ships are located in the effect as well, more precisely. And then finally, they're adding some aircraft explosions on a dying CV. I was thinking in my mind, hey, it'd be cool if the aircraft could slide down and then crash and maybe explode, but I know that's extra animation that you don't need to add. And then finally, we get to look at the new up-and-coming French cruiser line. This is more like a battle cruiser, I would say. Notice a couple traits. It has a 25mm bow and stern, 60-second fire duration, so it is not a traditional cruiser. They're envisioning it more as a super cruiser. 8 305mm guns, 51mm of HE pin base. It also has a 25-second base reload. As far as its secondary, it has 7.6 kilometer range with 130mm guns. It has 9% fire chance, which of course is very Frenchy. The AA is decent, good protection overall, with continuous damage ramping up as you get closer, of course. Only 4 flak bursts, it's on the low side, and based on the detectability, this is going to be seen very frequently. Once again, it's a super cruiser. 31.9 knots speed. It has a rudder shift of 12.5, yes. It comes equipped with damage control party, hydroacoustic or defensive, fighter or engine boost, main battery reload, nice, and repair party, actually on a tier 8, which is another clue that this is definitely more than a cruiser, but not quite a battleship. At tier 9, we're going to get the French cruiser Brest. This has a 60-second fire duration once again, 25mm bow and stern, so be careful of bow tanking. It has 8 330mm guns on 2 gun turrets, so quad-mounted once again, 55mm of HE penetration, 25-second reload, 36-second turret traverse, 1.8 sigma, and 201 meter maximum dispersion. For the secondary armament, it continues to ramp up. Now we get up to 139, which of course the Kleber and other French ships get. Same basic range, 7.8. It has a 10% fire chance. For the AA defense, it's definitely ramping up in its effectiveness. Continuous all up across the board compared to the tier 8. This gets 6 flak bursts, which is a nice step up, and that will help defend it because it is rather large. For maneuvering, it actually drops a little bit of speed with 31.5 knots being its max. Its surface detection is 15.1. It was incorrectly reported as like 12.6 initially, but it is 15.1. And then the consumables are the same as the tier 8. Main battery and repair party. You have to choose between fighter or engine boost. Is that really a choice? Or hydroacoustic / defensive AA. So, interesting choices that they're offering, and I like the consumable loadout. At tier 10, we have Marseille. It also has the 60-second fire duration. It has 25mm bow and stern. It has 9 330mm guns on 3 gun turrets, and they're arranged similar to the Nelson, so they're all facing forward. Not like the Izamo, where the number 3 has to rotate counterclockwise of everyone else. 55mm HE penetration base. This has an impressive secondary setup as well. 8.3 kilometer base range, and you can imagine buffing it. I could almost envision them introducing the secondary cruiser update along with these guys because they are kind of selling them as that's an option. AA is, of course, impressive and improved. It has 33 knots maximum speed, 14.8 ship detection. It has the same consumable setup as the previous ships, and I think the main battery is going to be very popular. It already has always been with the French premiums that have been introduced. The Tier 7 Premium that's going to come with this line, Toulon, has effectively the same style of design, but very glaring weaknesses. 16mm bow and stern armor, that's going to be soft. 60-second fire duration. It has 8 305mm guns on 2 gun turrets. For secondaries, it has a good amount, but 6.3 kilometer range, and you're a cruiser. I don't really know that you want to get in secondary gun range. Plus, there's no incentive with the commander build, but that might change. AA is pathetic outside of short range on this ship. So yeah, it's given up a lot, but it is a premium Tier 7, and it's giving you 305s at Tier 7, so that might be worth it. For maneuvering, 30 knot speed, 11.5 kilometer ship detection. For its consumables, damage control, hydroacoustic or defensive, fighter only, no speed boost, main battery reload, repair party, and the repair party is actually useful. So, interesting. This up-and-coming line is intriguing. Wargaming's taking a different approach compared to the German battlecruisers. They're actually classifying this battlecruiser style line as a cruiser. It's got battleship concealment, it's got battleship fire duration, it's got battleship heal, but it's classified as a cruiser. So I'm curious if they feel like it's soft enough that people will punish it. And we'll have to see with testing where these guys actually lie. Very intrigued by the design of this line, though. It's very different and weird looking, and I think Wargaming has done a great job with the models, of course. The game looks amazing. It's just, we'll have to see how balanced these really are. Please like the video if you enjoyed this. Also consider subscribing to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks again. I hope you all have a wonderful day.